You can order the brake discs and brake pads used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Turn off your vehicle's ignition. Set the parking brake. Pull the hood release handle and open the hood. Open the brake fluid reservoir. Loosen the wheel lug nuts on the rear wheels. In order to change the rear brake discs and brake pads on your vehicle, you will need to take off the wheels to have full access. Lift the rear of your vehicle. Place the vehicle on the jack stands. We strongly suggest watching our video on how to jack your Nissan Altima safely before carrying out this step. Don't forget to put the wheels under the vehicle. Before you start, release the parking brake, otherwise this operation will be impossible. Insert a flathead screwdriver into the opening of the brake caliper. Lift it off using the screwdriver as a lever by pulling it towards you. This will cause the piston to retract slightly so that the caliper can be removed more easily for the next steps. In some cases, you will also need to clear the grip of the parking brake shoes on the disc in order to remove the disc at a later stage. Insert a flathead screwdriver into the hole on the disc to access the brake shoe adjustment mechanism and retract the shoes until the disc is free. Hey, it's Alex from CarParts.com. If you enjoy this video and want to support us, like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, back to work. With a socket wrench and a 14mm socket, unscrew the lower slide pin. Repeat this process with the upper slide pin. You can now remove the caliper and set it down as to not pull on the rear brake hose. Remove the brake pads. To do this, slide them away from the disc. Using a flathead screwdriver, remove the anti-rattle clips. Using a 19mm wrench, unscrew the two holding bolts on the caliper mount. Depending on the state of the bolts on the caliper mount, it may be necessary to use a hammer to loosen them. Remove the caliper mount. Sometimes the disc may get stuck on the hub. If this happens, use a hammer to remove it. Finally, remove the disc. At this point, you can also replace the parking brake shoes as we did in the video. To do so, we recommend watching our video, How to Replace the Parking Brake Shoes Nissan Altima. Clean the wheel hub with a wire brush. You can order the discs and pads kit used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Before installing the new disc, it is vital to clean it using brake cleaner and paper towels to take off the storage paraffin. If your new disc is coated, you can place it directly onto the wheel hub. If you want to know which parts and tools we use in this video, just check the description and you'll find everything you need. Brush the caliper mount around the pads to remove any extra rust that could prevent the pads from sliding. Reassemble the caliper mount by screwing first by hand, then with a 19mm wrench to lock them in place. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. CarParts.com also recommends replacing the anti-rattle clips with new ones. Place the new anti-rattle clips on the caliper mount. Grab the new pads and lightly coat the ends with copper grease to help them slide more easily. Insert the new pads into the caliper mount by sliding them in. Grab the caliper. Press the piston into the brake caliper. For this operation, it is essential to have a brake windback tool. a special tool that allows you to push the piston back, making it easier to put the caliper back in place. As the piston enters the brake caliper, brake fluid will flow back into the brake fluid reservoir. Depending on the original level of the reservoir, make sure that the liquid does not overflow. Now put the caliper back on the caliper mount. Clean the slide pins with paper towels. Then lubricate them with silicone grease to facilitate sliding. Screw in the caliper slide pins by hand at first. Screw them in using a socket wrench and a 14mm socket. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Clean the disc with brake cleaner and a cloth to remove the grease from the new pads. In case you adjusted the brake shoes to remove the disc, set the mechanism back until there is a slight friction between the brake shoes and the disc. You can now repeat the same process on the other side. For great content, our best price, and fast shipping, download the CarParts.com app now. Then you will be able to put the wheels back on your vehicle. Put the car back on the ground and block the wheels properly. Don't forget to screw the brake fluid cap back on before starting the car. Attention! Before using your vehicle again, start your car and pump the brake pedal a few times to push the brake pads together again. Try driving smoothly and avoid sudden braking for the first 30 miles or so to avoid glazing the new pads. Operation complete.
Quality parts, priced right, CarParts.com.